Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm going to do a long video for you today. This very well could be the longest non-stream video I've ever done on this channel, but I wanted to show off my entire fragrance collection for you. I've done this maybe once or twice before, but I like to do it like once a year or so just to kind of, I don't know, I'm not trying to like show off all my stuff, but I would like to share it with you. And the reason I decided to do this is because I've mentioned this on my channel, but I go through phases, not just with fragrances, but with all of my hobbies. So if we could take like my biggest hobbies would be books, movies, video games, and fragrances. Music is of course as well a hobby, but that's my career, so it's kind of goes hand in hand. But I go through phases where sometimes I just want easy to consume stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like easy designer colognes to wear stuff. I always wear cologne pretty much every day, and I enjoy it the way it smells, but I don't really think about it. I just put it on. It's not like an automated sort of thing. I still want to wear it, but I just don't want to think about it. And same with games. I just want to play something simple. I want to watch just fun comedies or fun slasher films, all that jazz. And then sometimes I go through phases where I only want to watch art house films or read really dense metafiction novels or smell artistic niche perfumes, whatever. So I'm kind of a little bit in a phase right now where I'm struggling to play like basic games. I'm craving like really well done indie games and niche perfumes and stuff like that. And so it kind of made me think like I have so many colognes now. I have over 80 colognes, many of which I don't really even wear. And I'm not a minimalist by any means. Obviously, I have 80 plus colognes, but it does make me think like there's a lot that I don't wear and probably will never wear that I should get rid of. And I've never really gotten rid of my colognes. I have had more. I lost a lot of colognes during a move, unfortunately. Some of my favorites that aren't made anymore. So that's kind of sad. They're ones that I actually would keep in my collection. But yeah, it just kind of made me think about it. One of my favorite reviewers of colognes on YouTube is Drakdoc. If y'all are familiar with him, he used to be one of the OG reviewers. He's awesome. And he took a long break. I thought he was gone for good, but he's back now and he just lost about $15,000 worth of like high-end perfume and a move. So he's kind of doing a thing where he was like saying keep or pass, basically, if he's going to keep it or get rid of it. And I'm not doing that here. I'm just going to simply show you what I have. But it really did make me think like I got to pare this stuff down. Um, there's nothing wrong with having a shitload of perfumes. If that's if that's your passion, then that's cool. As long as you're not like, not being able to pay your mortgage or anything like that because you're buying cologne. But that goes with anything in life. Anyways, let's just do it, man. I'm obviously not going to go on a long time about all of them because this would be a 3-hour video, but it's inescapably going to be a long video. So I'll start with like full bottles. Let's do. A lot of these are samples and decants, and I am including them because the majority of my collection is in decants and samples, which is generally the way I go. Unless something is really, really cheap or a budget-friendly option, I just get a sample, and that's because I rotate cologne so much. That's always been fine for me, and that's probably how I'll generally continue to do things. So let's start on my right side. There's a couple over here, and my hair keeps getting in the way. My hair's getting long. I'll start with kind of a recent pickup. Barbershop, London Barbershop by Maggard Razors. This is an awesome barbershop scent. It smells like Dove White soap with a touch of masculinity and patchouli in there. It's insanely clean. I mean, it literally smells like Dove White soap. It's awesome. I'll absolutely keep this for sure. Next, I have a fragrance from Alexandria Fragrances, kind of really a clone house. But from what I've tried, really good. This is 69 Fahrenheit, which is a clone of Dior Fahrenheit. And I think this is probably the best Fahrenheit clone I've ever tried. It's not 100% similar, but it's really damn close. And, Fahrenheit clones, a lot of people say, oh, there's no good clones of that. This is a good one for sure. It's not as good as the original, but it's pretty damn close. That's good. That's good. I had another one. It was like a Parfums de Marly clone. I gave that away to my buddy because he enjoyed it. Next is Classic Match by Belcam. These are insanely cheap, dirt freaking cheap colognes from Walmart. This is, you probably could guess, Drakkar Noir. It smells really damn good. I've actually have never tried the original Jakar, but I've been told this is pretty damn close, at least to modern. Maybe this one actually skews more towards the original formulation, but it smells good. It smells dated, but it's damn good fragrance. It's really good. It's very powerful too. That was like $5. So if you want a Jakar clone for $5, buy that. Next is what's this? I always get the name of this house wrong. Pineapple Vintage, Parfums Vintage. This is Emperor Extrait. This is their Smoky Aventus cologne, and it's just freaking awesome. I don't wear a lot of fresh colognes. It's not my bag, but this is one that I enjoy. I love that smoky kick to it. It's good stuff. It's going to be great in the summer. Of course, I'm keeping that. Next is Dior Sauvage. This is the EDT, not one of the 8,000 flankers or the new, like, you can get the cap made out of wood that was mined on Mars or something. But yeah, I mean, people hate this. I don't. I like it. It's not the best cologne ever. It's very simple. But like again, I said, when I go through those phases where I want some easy stuff to wear, Sauvage always gets worn by me. I've been wearing it recently too. And besides the smell, obviously the most important, the design, the presentation is always second to none on Dior. Magnetic cap, I mean, come on, it's good stuff. Next, I have Acqua di Gio, which is a little tiny bottle of this. I also really like Acqua di Gio. It's the most popular men's cologne ever, and maybe people don't like it anymore because they're obviously Profumo is much highly regarded, but I like this a lot. You know, honestly, I might get rid of this. I'm not sure. I mean, I've worn, I don't know, like a fifth of it or something. I really like it, but I don't wear it that much. It definitely hits different than some of these other freshies, so I kind of like that smell, but I don't know. I don't know about that one. I like it, but I don't know if I would keep it. Sung Om by Alfred Sung. This stuff is awesome. I really like this. It's very similar in certain ways to Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, but it's definitely different at the same time. And a lot of people don't like this one. I can understand why. It has an ashy quality to it that's a bit weird. But honestly, I really like this cologne. It's very dated for sure, but I like it. It's very bold. Next, we have my favorite cologne, probably of all time. I would certainly not get rid of this. This is Burberry London. This is probably my favorite cologne. And it just smells wonderful, and it smells like wine and cinnamon and pine and tobacco, and it's just absolutely amazing. I would wear this. I will wear this all year round, but it's definitely better in the fall and winter months, or excuse me for my squeaky chair, wearing it during particular holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas. But yeah, that's the best ever. Next, I have another Belcam cologne. This is called Volatile, and this is supposed to be a Spice Bomb clone. And in my experience, I don't own Spice Bomb, but I've smelled it and worn it. It's pretty close. It's not as nice, of course. This is a $8 to $9 cologne, but it's pretty close for the price. The dry down is actually better. It's a little more masculine. It's a little less sweet, but yeah, it's a great cologne. I don't really wear this that often. I do enjoy it. I think it's very good for the price. It's actually amazing for the price. I highly recommend it if you like Spice Bomb. It's many American dollars cheaper, but I don't wear it that often anymore. Next, we have Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, which I just talked about. This stuff is great. I love this. It's totally for me. I think this is one you can wear all year round. Again, it is touch dated. It does have a bit of an old school vibe to it, but I don't care. I like it. What should I do next? I got a lot. Let's do two that I like don't wear ever. A lot of these I honestly do not wear because they're samples and things, so I'm glad I have them and I tried them, but I simply don't wear them. But these are two that I like literally don't wear because they're terrible. One is Primitive Man. These are Belcam clones, and yes, Belcam had some great ones I showed, but this is not good. This is called Primitive Man, and this is a Sauvage clone. And I did a review on this, and it was okay. And it's like, it's not offensively bad smelling, but it's like 50% of the way there for a Sauvage clone, and it just smells cheap. So I wouldn't recommend this. I've worn this like twice. I don't recommend this. It's not good. And we have one called Joe Black, which is supposed to be their take on Acqua di Gio Profumo. And this is by far the worst one I've tried of all the Belcam colognes. None of them are like amazing. Some are actually, well, that's not true. Some are pretty damn good, but this just isn't it, man. It smells bad. I don't know. They screwed it up. And actually, it has like a pissy note in it. And I know that some like weird niche stuff has like a pissy kind of vibe to it from like, I don't even know what would cause that, what kind of note would cause that civet maybe, but that's not what the intent is with that one for sure. So yeah, those two are terrible, and I would not even give that away honestly to somebody. That'd be like a cruel April Fool's joke. Next, we have one that I don't really wear either, but I like, and that's 4711, the classic Eau de Toilette or Eau de Cologne rather, and it smells amazing. It smells like Fruit Loops and citrus and green, and it's great. But as you know, it lasts negative seconds. So you almost go back into the past when you put this on. That's how short the duration of this scent is. It is negative. It's the lowest lasting cologne I've ever worn in my life. I know that there's like Neroli Portofino. I'm not going to spend Tom Ford prices to get a smell like this. I'm sure I can find another clone of this that has decent performance. This smells great. It literally lasts for, being realistic, 5 to 10 minutes, which is a kind of a joke. I'll get into my Happy Land studio fragrances now. You know about these if you watch me. I love this house. It's probably my favorite indie house. They're awesome. I don't love all of them, but some of them are masterpieces. So let's go with Paisley Dreams. Okay, this was released a couple months ago, and it's a flanker of Paisley Sky. This is more feminine, definitely intended for women. I mentioned that I think at certain points of the fragrance it's less sweet, but then at other points it's like cotton candy, banana, heliotrope. Not heliotrope. What's the ylang ylang? That kind of rubbery banana smell, and just berries and cotton candy. So I really like this. There's like a kind of, I don't want to say skanky, but there's like a sexy musk note in this that I always get. Maybe it's patchouli or something. Probably not though, but there is a weird kind of like almost push an animalistic note in this that kind of makes this like a really cool perfume. But I like it, but man, I just I'm not gonna wear it. It's just too feminine and sweet for my tastes. Next, I have Home for the Holidays, the decaf edition. This I love. It's extremely sweet, but it's like maple syrup and pumpkin pie spices and caramel. It's very sweet, but I think it's better than the original version with coffee. I think it's more focused. It's a great fragrance. Very specialized one. I wouldn't wear that all the time, but very good. Next we have Cripple Creek, a relatively new perfume, probably in February it came out. I don't really care for this one. It's boozy and it has caramel, booze, ambrette, oak, ambroxan. To me, it comes off very feminine, very feminine. The boozy note smells like coconut to me at times, which I don't like, and it just dries down insanely sweet on my skin, and it smells like something I'd get at Bath and Body Works. I'm just telling you what I feel with that one, so I don't like that one. Next, we have Shameless, which is pretty damn nice. I mean, I'm not a big fan of these scents, but it kind of smells like a Ventus mixed with Sauvage. Some people said, no, it's more complicated than that. I disagree. I really think it's that simple, and I think that was the intent. So I have not a lot of use for this because I have Sauvage and I have a Ventus clone, but we'll see. I might wear that one in the summer. Next, we have Shadowland. I love this fragrance. This one kind of went under the radar when it came out. Some people didn't like the opening. It smells like cotton and linen and dryer sheets, lightly sweet and powdery on the dry down. The opening's a little bit pungent. The opening has this kind of bizarre, pungent, sour, sort of astringent note. I think that's what people didn't like. But I like it. It keeps it masculine. But when it dries down, it almost in some ways resembles like La Male or Cuba Gold with that light powdery sweetness. Maybe not as sweet, but it's really good. I wish he would do more stuff like this. I think this is really special. It's one of my favorites. And I love the black. I don't like that you can't see how much juice is in there, but I love the matte black paint on this. Next, we have Happy Land Signature, which is probably my favorite in the line. I think this is a masterpiece. S tier juice. It's like tobacco and honey. Honey is one of my favorite notes in all of perfumery. Just love it. This is just rich and sweet, and it's got masculinity. The dry down and the ambroxan comes out. I think there's patchouli in this as well. The dry down is surprisingly masculine if you think this is very feminine. And there is a bit of a weird note in here that the more I wear this, the more I get. And it almost smells like furniture polish at the top, some sort of thing like that, which sounds weird, but I actually really like it. So that stuff is just the best, some of the best I've ever tried in my life. Next, we have Diabolique. I talked about this today. If you're watch my son of the day, I'm wearing this right now. This is probably my second favorite release from the house. It is dark fruits and rum and cinnamon and pepper. It's dark and biting. Then it dries down into this kind of creamy cookie vibe. It's just, oh, it's good. Next, we have Gaelic Mist, which is a new one. Not the newest. The newest one is called Wonderland. I don't have Wonderland. I'd love to try that. Gaelic Mist, I like, I don't love. I really did enjoy it when I first tried it, but the more I wear it, the less I like it. I just have some issues with it. There is a very weird sour note at the top that some people said might be vetiver. I said that it smelled like cannabis. Now, I like that, but when it dries down, it gets sweet, actually, sweeter. And it reminds me in some ways of like Invictus Aqua, which I don't like. Um, it's weird. It's not what I thought. The dry down always gets me. It's sweeter. It kind of feels sporty, and there is like this weird synthetic musk note in here. There's a note that is quite prominent in this cologne that smells synthetic to me, which is unusual for this house, but I don't really care for this one. I like it better than Cripple Creek. Totally different. That's not the same kind of sweetness, but I'm not a big fan of that one. It's okay. Not quite what I was looking for. Okay, continuing on. We got a lot more to go. I have Michael Jordan Legend. Now, I had a bottle of Rocha Man. I gave it away to a friend, and I decided, well, I kind of missed the scent, but I'm glad that the other person got to wear it because I wasn't really wearing it. So I just picked up this little thing of Michael Jordan Legend, which is, I think Maurice Russell made this as well. So I said, what the hell, I'll just try this and see what the differences are. And it smells so similar to Rocha Man. There's minute differences. This maybe is a little bit more lavender forward. It has more of that spicy masculine lavender at the top, but they're so close when they dry down. Which one do I like more? Hard to say. This is good juice though, you know. I might get a full bottle of this. I know I'm talking about paring stuff down, but I am sleeping on this juice now that I'm smelling it. Because Rocha Man was one of the first colognes I ever got, and I really, really, really liked it. But then I stopped wearing it just because I was experimenting and getting more stuff. That's good stuff, though. I recommend Michael Jordan Legend. Let's get into a couple decants here. I'm just going to take you through my Happy Land Studio decants, going off of Happy Land Studio. I have Home for the Holidays. I've already talked about this. I don't like it as much as the Flanker, the decaf edition. We have Seven, which is freaking amazing. This is one of my favorites from the house too. It's an amber mixed with a fougere. The fougere at the top has a very spicy pepper, very masculine, dressed up, very handsome, James Bond like. There's this spicy powdery rose in it that I really enjoy, but the dry down just has that stereotypical amber smell with this a bit of vanilla, and it's so good. Seven is very good. I can't recommend that one enough. Next is Queer Cafe. This is my least favorite cologne from this house. I don't love all of the Happy Land ones, like I said, but this is the one that I do. Oh man, I don't like this at all. Oof. It's because of the leather. The leather note that he tends to use in his fragrances smells like the exact same leather note. It almost smells like Suederol or something, and it's just way too freaking pungent for me. So nope, can't wear that one. We have Homeland. This one never gets anywhere for me because I don't care for it either. It's not terrible. It's very old school. It's got this orange blossom ginger vibe at the top, but it's very sharp and masculine and old school smelling. It's a very dry cologne. It has a hay vibe to it, I would say. It's very dry. It's just a little too much for me. It's not terrible, but it's not something that I'm gonna, once that, I probably won't even continue to wear it, to be honest. Next we have Barbershop. I don't really wear this one either, but I do like it. I like it more and more the more I wear it. Now this is very leather dominant, and it is the same leather accord as in Queer Cafe. But for some reason, this one, I like it. I love barbershops, so it's like an insanely masculine barbershop with a strong dose of this leather, and I like it. I think that if he were ever to do another flanker, which I think he's got a good thing going with the flankers, it's pretty clever. Do a barbershop that has less leather because it's too much for me. I like it, but it's just too much. I think we're about done with Happy Land Studio. I've had pretty much all of them. There's probably a couple here or there. This is a guerrilla style filming because I just have so much stuff. Sorry for this noise. I have 2 more Happy Lands that I'm gonna get for you. Yeah, there we go. Fudufafa. If you can see that, the guy with the little beret. Really like this. This came out in fall, maybe of 2020, maybe fall 2020. I don't really remember, but it's really nice. It's sweet and it's a great fall scent. I sometimes get vibes of like maple syrup from this, and I get like a rose kind of cola vibe. It's got an ambery rose vibe to it. It kind of, I always said that there's like he has his coffee trilogy, his coffee trifecta in his company. I think that he has an amber trilogy too, which would probably be this, Seven, and Amberland. And they're all different, but that one's really good. I also have Amberland. I don't know where that one is. I'm probably missing a couple, but Amberland is great too. It's a dusty amber sort of vibe, and I really like it. And I think the last Happy Land I have to show you, sorry, I'm wearing a shawl like an old lady today. I don't know why, but it's comfy, is El Gudo, which is like his take on a clubbing scent. Insanely sweet, as clubbing scents are, but with a twist. The tops just reeks of grape, artificial grape, which is weird, but I kind of like it. And there's this like waxy, I think there's beeswax in here, so I definitely get a waxy vibe, waxy, like dusty cigar smell. I like it. I don't wear this often because I don't wear these kind of ultra sweet bubblegum scents often, but that's like the best of those kind of scents. So next I'll do my Cubas. These are budget line, like dirt cheap. Y'all know about Cuba. Cuba Winter. They come in these cute little cigars. Cuba Winter is essentially Invictus Aqua. I like it. It's okay, but I'm not a big fan of that scent. So when I first tried it, I was kind of impressed with it. And I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's not quite for me. Next, we have Cuba Orange, which kind of smells like a little bit of an orange creamsicle vibe. I reviewed this as well. I thought this was pretty bad. It smelled like Febreze or something. So not good to wear, but if you need an air freshener, there you go. Next, we have Cuba Red, which is not too bad. It's kind of like Burberry London, but with less of that sweet spice. It's a little more dry tobacco. It's a pretty good take on Burberry London. It's not as good, but it's not too bad. Next, we have Cuba, and they come in these little lipstick tubes here. Cuba Royal. Cuba Royal is essentially 1 million. I think it's less sweet than 1 million. I think this actually came out before 1 million, but this is a better 1 million. Again, not something I really wear often, but I think that's better than 1 million. It's less cloying. Next, we have Cuba Wild Heart, which I think is a clone of Ed Hardy Luck and Love, which in turn is a clone or something to do with Millesime Imperial by Creed. To me, this smells like a very sweet floral sort of summer scent. It kind of reminds me in some ways of Acqua di Gio because it's not your traditional. I mean, maybe I don't have experience with, freshies, but these to me are not like your typical ozonic blue ones. They're kind of more floral and sweet. So I actually like it. It's pretty nice. I like the sweetness from it, but again, just not my favorite style of cologne. But honestly, it's pretty good. And Cuba Blue, which I don't remember what this is cloning. I don't really care for this one. It's kind of like a fresh, kind of woody scent, and I don't really like it. Next, we'll go into Alt Fragrances, which is a company that I would never recommend to anyone, but I have some of them. They're not good. They're okay. They're not worth it, though. Their marketing team is like their marketing team's crazy, but this is Farouche, which is a Dior Sauvage clone, and it's actually pretty good. Their performance, every alt fragrance I've ever tried has had terrible performance, but this is a pretty good Sauvage clone, and it's a little less pungent. So in some ways, I actually get a touch of vanilla from that one. It kind of reminds me of the Eau de Parfum. So that's that. Next we have Executive Cologne, which is their Aventus cologne. And I don't really care for this. It's just Aventus with more of a citrus forward vibe. So I don't really care for it. And then we have Executive, which is just about out, which of course is Aventus. And it's not bad, but Pineapple Vintage, it smacks this thing up and down. Just, it's way better. Way better. Oh, I have one more. This is probably one of the worst colognes I've ever smelled. Honestly, I don't really remember reviewing this. I know I did. I probably was pretty okay. I was nice with it, but it's bad. This is called Suds, and I don't know if they've, because I don't really check on this company anymore. Back in the day, I remember when I got this, like not too long after I got it, they like changed the name because they said it was supposed to smell like Dove soap, and it smells like dryer sheets and synthetic garbage and incense. It smells nothing like Dove soap. My barbershop, the London one I showed at the beginning, that's spot on Dove soap. This is nasty. I don't know why they changed it, if there was a lawsuit or or something like that, or they just got so much pushback because of how much this does not smell like Dove soap. But this stuff's disgusting. It's like somebody that doesn't really know how to properly craft a soapy scent when, oh, these are the notes you use in a soapy scent. I'm just going to put a bunch of that in there. And that's like what they did. No, not good. Next, these are Distillery Series. These were like little cheapy ones you could get from Walmart. People still talk about these. They're not too bad. This is Kentucky Bourbon. I don't have much to say about that one. It's not exciting. And next we have New York Rye. This one was their like kind of quasi Aventus one, but with more of like a lemon and a leather smell. And I'm not gonna wear it because I have the other stuff, but it's not bad. These aren't bad. Okay, Alabama Moonshine. I remember this one was very musky and vanilla like. I enjoyed it, but I'm not big on like very heavy musk, and I just couldn't. It was too much. And then Tennessee Whiskey. Sweet. I don't really remember this one. Woody and sweet. I just remember that these were okay. Okay, so we have a couple decants here. And as a matter of fact, I have a whole bag of the Authenticity Perfumes decants. So I won't even show those off because I'm still going to do the first impressions of those. I really don't like this house, Authenticity Perfumes. It's not good stuff. So I'm gonna finish it, but I'm just not into it. Burberry London, a decant of that. I guess I don't really need to show that off. YSL L'Homme EDT. Ooh, this one's almost out. I love L'Homme. I love L'Homme. I love Lamp. I just love this cologne. I would like a full bottle. It's so good, so very good. Oh, I missed a couple here. These are my big Cubas. Cuba Shadow. Let me show you what the full ones look like. Cuba Shadow. They look like this, like big fat fucking cigars. Like these look like the cigars they would smoke in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right? Cartoonishly large Acme cigars. And this was supposed to be a take on Bleu de Chanel. I kind of liked it. Also, I gotta tell you, like for some freaking cheap cologne, these caps are killer, man. The presentation is good on these. It's actually very good for the price. I mean, you can get these under $10, and this is good. It's good. Yeah, I didn't really like it. The cool, fruity Bleu de Chanel vibe lasted for like 10 seconds, and then it turned into sort of a sour sort of thing. I didn't like it. Cuba Brazil, which, if I can recall correctly, was a green freshie with some sweetness in there, some cinnamon or something. And I liked it, but it was one that I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'm probably never going to wear it. And then the last one is Cuba Shadow, or Cuba Gray. Cuba Gray, which is supposed to be a clone of, man, this is a lot of cologne to keep around in my brain, right? I can't believe I remember all this stuff. Calvin Klein Eternity, which I like. A dirty floral, but yet clean and refreshing. I like this. I think this is one of Cuba's better offerings, and I think that it's a great rainy day scent. If I wasn't wearing Diabolique today, I would probably be wearing this or Paco Rabanne Pour Homme. Those are my 3 great rainy day scents. Last full bottle, I believe, is another Belcam. I didn't show this at the same time, but this is their version of Obsession by Calvin Klein. I would not get rid of this. This is, it's good. It's Calvin Klein's Obsession, and honestly, a lot of people. I mean, I've worn Obsession. I think it's great, and people have said that this smells more like a vintage version. I don't know what the vintage version smells like, but it's pretty damn close, and it's great. And I have some more. We're getting to the end here. It's not as long as I thought it'd be. This is Dior Fahrenheit Le Parfum. This is just about done. It's actually looking kind of cloudy, so that might not be good. But this is, yeah. I think you know what? I think this is starting to go bad. Smelling a little bit of a odd thing here, so this might not be wearable anymore. But this is just so good. This is better than the original Fahrenheit, in my opinion. It's boozy and vanilla. It's got like a vanilla rum booze. It's got a medicinal vibe at the same time. It's so good. Okay, we got a couple more decants. So that's nothing. So we got a couple more decants here, and then we'll go into my samples, and we're done. YSL La Nuit de l'Homme. Yeah, it's okay. I don't. People go crazy for this. I don't. I prefer L'Homme. And then we have Tom Ford Vanille Fatale, which is really good. Smells like extremely boozy vanilla and woods. And I didn't like that when I first tried it because the booze is so strong in that. But honestly, the more I wear it, the more I like it. I'll never buy a full bottle of it because it's so expensive, but let's do samples. I have Azzaro Chrome Aqua. Don't really care for it. It's just grapefruit fresh, not my thing. Versace Eros. Don't like it. It's musky and synthetic and sweet. I know people love it, but I don't. Burberry Brit for him. Didn't care for this. I honestly don't like any of the Burberry scents other than London. Vince Camuto Virtue. I honestly, some of these I've only worn once. I remember that one just to me smelled like sandalwood or something. I didn't hate it, but I only got sandalwood. Jean Paul Gaultier La Male. Can't say anything bad about that. It's basically Cuba Gold, which I see Cuba Gold over here on my shelf. I'm not going to pull that out and show you, but you all know that one. It's good. It's good. It's basically La Male. Jimmy Choo Man Blue. I also don't really remember this. I kind of remember it was just a blue scent I didn't care for. Burberry Brit Splash. Also didn't like this. It's not my thing. Oh my goodness gracious, we're almost done here. I thought this was going to be a 3-hour video. What do we got here? Jean Paul Gaultier Ultramall. Yeah, I've done a video on this. I think this smells very good. I really like it, but I just can't wear it on myself. It smells like, on the cap, honestly, it smells like bubblegum. It's a clubbing scent. It literally smells like bubblegum. There's more complexity to this when you spray it with the pear and the vanilla. And I think when it dries down and you get past that nauseating sweetness, it can kind of give off like a churro vibe. So I think it's really a nice smell, but it's too much for me. And it is insanely powerful. It's one of the strongest colognes I've ever tried. Next we have Bulgari Man Wood Essence. I remember I kind of liked this one. It gave me strong sandalwood vibes too, like it was maybe just too forward on that, but I don't think I hated that. Nothing I would ever buy a bottle of, but it was okay. Kenneth Cole Intensity, I've talked about this. This one I kind of liked. Again, nothing I would probably buy a bottle of, but it gave me like either a root beer vibe or a cream soda vibe, and I liked it. Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. A lot of people probably know Zaharoff. It's a designer house, smaller designer house. George Zaharoff is the owner of that. I liked this a lot. It was like a weird cologne because it did a lot of different things, but I remember enjoying it. It was like a gentleman dressed up scent, but it also had oud in there, which created this smoky vibe. And then at times it smelled sporty, which I'm not a big fan of, but I liked the way it was all blended. So I forgot I had this. I'm going to wear this. I actually enjoy that quite a bit. Almost done. How do you people watch me? How? How do you put up with me? How do you do it? Burberry Brit Rhythm. I don't know. I don't know that one. Mont Blanc Legend. Oh yes, I reviewed this. Far too musky for my tastes. Oh my god, we got 2 left. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Yes. I don't like it. It's too much for me. And the last one. I used to have a sample of Alien Man by Terry Mugler. Also, rest in peace to him. People didn't like that. I thought it was awesome. I liked that. Cheers. Well, the last one I have to show you folks today is this little baby sample. This is I didn't pick this last. It just happened to be last, but this is something extremely special. God, I would like a full bottle of this, but it's so expensive. This is a niche kind of artist house called Euphorium Brooklyn. And this is a cologne. I believe I've talked about this. It's called Walled. And it smells like the forest. This is very expensive. A bottle is like $200. Like a travel spray is like $100. It's like really expensive. So it's almost a little too rich for my blood. I don't know though. Maybe if one day I pare down like big time, this will be one of them. This smells so high quality. Like I like my cheap, not this one in particular, but like my little $3 colognes. I love them. I love my Dior Sauvage. But it's like when I smell stuff like this, and when I smell like Happy Land Studios, when they hit the mark, I'm very consistent, but you get my point. This is so high quality. This is an art house. This smells like the forest. Like the quality of ingredients in this must be insanely high, which is probably why it's so expensive. I've never smelled, like I've smelled colognes that are like, yeah, smells like the forest and green. And it never quite does. You get hints of it, but it still smells like a cologne. This legitimately smells like the forest. And it comes on one of these. Oh, I'm getting it all over my hands. God, this is not like for everybody. This is one of those houses where their stuff is like definitely niche, artisanal. Like they're not trying to make mass appealing scents. They're scents that are, it's like I find with some of these houses that their goal is more to like paint a picture with scent rather than make something that's an accessory. This is just smells so much like the forest, man. It smells like pine and grass and moss and leaves and dirt and wood and the burning campfire and tar. There's definitely got to be pine tar or birch tar, that very strong tar smell that can kind of smell like meat smoking. It's just fucking amazing. It's totally not for everybody. Do not blind buy a bottle of that because it's like wacky, but it's so good. Now it's all over my fingers, so I need to wash my hands. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that's everything. This is quite a doozy of a video, but yeah, wow, look at all this stuff. You can't see it, but holy smokes. Anyways, I hope this was fun for you. It was fun for me. I enjoyed doing it. It definitely helped me put things in perspective to see what I really don't need, most of it. But it was also just fun to do. So, that's that. Take care, peace out, and smell good.